Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Olumide Macaulay. On today's program, the Alliance for Democracy canvasses for votes ahead of the Edo State governorship election. The Ogun State governor encourages youth to embrace empowerment programs. And the Cross River State garment and textile factory generates employment for hundreds, including widows. Thank you so much for joining us. We begin with a statement from the United States that say that they're concerned with the death of Nigerians in clashes between Shiite Muslims and police, which occurred earlier in the week in the northern part of the country. In a statement by the U.S. diplomatic mission in Nigeria, spokesman John Kirby says although the matter is still under investigation, it's troubling to see the apparent disproportionate response by the police. The U.S. says the Nigerian government should conduct an investigation and bring to account anyone responsible for violating the law. Last month, the Edo State government declared the Shiite group as an unlawful society on the grounds that its processions were a danger to peace and security, and said anyone convicted of being a member of the sect could be imprisoned for up to 7 years. And concerted efforts are needed to rebuild areas of the northeast ravaged by insurgency. Meanwhile, this is coming from the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, who commends the military in their successes against Boko Haram, while assuring the people of the government support in the recovery of the region and the internally displaced persons from the damage caused by the insurgents.
Let's acknowledge the efforts and achievements done by the men and women in uniform in bringing some peace and stability there. I think that's why we can even talk about economic prosperity in the place. I think now that we've addressed that, then is the issue of the humanitarian crisis there, which we're already doing. And that's why we're quick to put to the Northeast Development Commission and to ensure that we can coordinate. We'll provide funding in the budget to enable that. We'll ensure that all the opportunities we have in the issue of credit agri possibilities, poverty alleviation issues, we can pass into there. I'm confident that with the Northeast Commission setup, they'll be able to address all the specific areas in trying to bring back life back into. Majority of the people there are farmers, so it's important that we try and create an enabling environment that makes them be able to go back to their communities and farm. Most of them are still in IDP camps, and of course, if they're still there, they can't be able to do much. So the plan is really still get rehabilitation, reconstruction, and then ensure that we have special funds that will help development in the area.
Bukola Saraki, President, Nigeria's Senate. In the Southwest and to politics, the candidate of the Alliance for Democracy, the AD, in the Edo State governorship election, Chief Olusha, has vowed that if elected as governor, his administration will endeavor to ensure prudent management of the state's resources and will be transparent and accountable to the people. He stated this while addressing a large crowd of party members and loyalists in Ishua Akoko, the headquarters of the Akoko Southeast local government area of the state, while his campaign train visited the area.
And other party supporters welcoming Olusha to Ishua Akoko, one of the towns said to be the stronghold of the Alliance for Democracy in Ondo State, southwest Nigeria. As usual, the AD candidate, along with his running mate Gani Dauda and his team, will first pay homage to the traditional ruler for his support. The candidate visited various communities in the local government with a message of better governance for the people.
Our mission is to bring back all the dead companies and those ones that are yet to be completed. In this regard, only white glass will come back. In this regard, Ifon ceramic will be revived, Nairobi will be revived, the cocoa industry in Eluju will go back, Okipipaoyami will be revived, And we will endeavor to complete the ones that are not yet completed. Dr. Olujagbo initiated the upper 3D in Ikare. This one will be completed. That company has capacity to employ 1,200 workers. When this is done, it will considerably reduce unemployment in Ondo State.
He equally vows to bring back the principles of accountability and prudent management of the state's resources.
Our government will also intervene in the area of agriculture. We will give farmers seedlings, we will give them fertilizers, we will also make them to have access to single-digit loans so that agriculture can blossom.
As the election draws closer, the Alliance for Democracy is hopeful that its efforts to woo voters will be enough to beat the ruling party in Ondo State when the polls open on November the 26th.
To the north-central part of the country, the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has adjourned judgment in the Ondo PDP governorship candidacy tussle indefinitely. The judgment slated for delivery today was put off by Justice Ibrahim Salawa following a motion filed at the Supreme Court by the Senator Ali Modu Sharif-led faction of the PDP asking the appeal court panel to hands off the matter. In the motion, factional chairman of the party in Ondo State, Prince Biyi Boroye, accuses the three-man panel of bias and prayed the Supreme Court to restrain the justices from further proceedings in the appeals. The motion, served on the panel about 7:30 p.m. last night, alleged that the three justices had betrayed their oath of office with the way the appeals were handled and that they've refused to be bound by their own earlier orders. Justice Salawa, who announced the receipt of the motion, described the move as politically motivated and diabolical. He added that the panel was put in place on a rescue mission when the Justice Jumai Sankei-led panel threw in the towel following accusations of bias and bribery. Now, to Cross River State, where the first batch of employees have resumed their positions at the Cross River State Textile and Garment Factory, 200 of those to be absorbed, after which more people will be officially absorbed. The Cross River State government has employed about 200 widows at that factory in its bid to bring succor to the lives of the women following the death of their husbands. Channels Television reports that the excited widows are grateful for the opportunity to be gainfully employed.
Seating on 3 hectares of land, the Cross River State Garment and Textile Factory is located along the Goodluck Jonathan Bypass in Calabar, the Cross River State capital. With 300 employees at the first batch, they'll be exposed to these modern garment factory machines, which they say is a lifetime experience.
I've seen this type of machine before. Now I've mastered the machine and the button holes that we use in doing buttons. Like this one, we use machine to put it. We don't use handle again in this company.
Glory Ekpeyong is one of the about 200 widows undergoing training at the garment factory. A woman who had lived with a series of difficulty following the death of her husband, who was the breadwinner of the family. She told Channels Television that feeding the family since the death of her husband has been difficult. She hopes this employment will change her life and those of her children.
We learn shade, we learn how to sew trousers, so I'm happy. Because I can't with the small one, because I don't already get small place where they sit, they so manage to eat with those small children.
The garment factory, which is fully automated, is expected to employ about 3,000 people, with 80% of them being women running different shifts on a daily basis.
This project basically is to take us away from so much dependence on the federal allocation, number one. And number two, to create employment for our teeming unemployed women, because you can see there are mostly women that are here. The idea basically is employment generation and work creation.
For these widows, the experience from this garment factory will not only enrich their knowledge in garment making, but will also remain a permanent asset which they can even pass on to future generations.